This recording, I'm not even sure why I'm making it. Perhaps I need to leave behind something, not for the world, not for my colleagues, but for the one man who knew me before I ever met him. It happened in 1940, Princeton. A late night, I had stayed behind in the laboratory, surrounded by calculations that had begun to feel more like riddles than answers. The world outside was quiet. The war was raging in Europe, but here, there was silence. And then he appeared. He wasn't part of the university. I'd never seen him before. But there was nothing chaotic about him, no madness in his face. His clothes were strange, not ragged or antique, but unfamiliar, tailored, smooth, almost seamless. And yet it was his eyes that froze me. There was something in them, something unsettling. He didn't look confused or nervous. He looked at me like I was a memory. Before I could ask who he was, he spoke. "Professor Einstein," he said, "I need to speak with you. I've come from the year 2037. I stared at him, half amused, half concerned. I had met many strange people over the years, dreamers, mathematicians, mystics, but there was something different about this man, something I could not explain, and I've spent my life explaining the unexplainable." Then he showed me something. It fit in his palm, a device unlike anything I'd ever seen. No wires, no levers, just a smooth silver surface, glowing faintly, pulsing like it was alive. He said it was a quantum bridge trigger. I asked what that meant. He told me it allows consciousness and matter to momentarily separate from the flow of linear time. I laughed softly. It was absurd, and yet every part of me knew, as a scientist, I was standing at the edge of something terrifyingly real. He told me things no one could have known. Details of my private work, drafts I had not yet written. He quoted a passage from a paper I would publish 5 months later, word for word. I asked him how he knew these things. He said, "Because you taught them to me, I will be long gone by then." And yet, in his voice, I could hear the reverence of a student, not one who had studied me from books, but one who had sat across from me and listened. I felt a coldness run down my spine, not fear, but the weight of realization. What if time was not a line, but a loop? What if consciousness could slip between moments the way water seeps through cracks in stone? He told me I had discovered something in my lifetime, a formula I had written and then hidden. Not out of fear, but out of mercy. He called it the reflection equation. He said it allowed not just the bending of space-time, but the anchoring of identity through parallel temporal states. In simpler words, the ability to see and maybe even interact with different versions of ourselves across time. He looked over his shoulder as if someone might be watching. He said, "I can't stay here long. Time resists when we try to bend it, but you must understand, they're looking for this equation." I asked him who they were. He didn't answer directly. He simply said there are forces that do not want humanity to outgrow its cage. He warned me if I publish the formula, they will erase it, erase me. He said, "Hide it where only you or your future self will know." Then he reached into his coat and handed me something I was not ready to see. A photograph. It was me, standing in a room I did not recognize, surrounded by machines that hadn't been invented. But older, grayer, alive, next to me was him. I asked, "Is this real?" He said, "It will be." Then like a sudden breeze, he was gone. No flash, no sound, just absence. The kind of silence you only hear after something unnatural leaves the room. That night, I sat alone for hours. I didn't sleep. I didn't write. I just stared at that photograph and wondered what kind of future I had already lived and forgotten. If you are hearing this tape, then perhaps he found you too. If he did, listen to him, because some truths are not meant to be understood, only remembered. Time is not a wall we move along. It's a mirror we pass through.